spell it again?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
We're gonna have to bleep some of these.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, who cares? How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to the Nothing But Footy podcast. Glad to have.
Holy
Yip,
Jesus!
yip, yip.
That was not good. I'm just excited. With a round this close with everything, I'm just excited to get into it.
Excited with. Oh no.
No,
See, it's in the
Jeez.
studio. There's
Gee,
nothing
no,
we can
it's
do
me
about it.
who's messing him up as well.
Damn,
It's just in the studio. There's nothing we can do about it. So, how was our weekend, everyone?
Jeez, real eager.
Yeah.
Good weekend. What we get up to? Saturday football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah.
Sunday Mother's Day. Did you boys have a
Yep.
good Mother's Day?
Mhm.
Yeah, I did.
Very nice.
What we all do for our mums?
I went to a restaurant.
I just had lunch at
Did
the
you pay?
families.
I did.
Oh,
Really?
Okay.
Oh, it's a long story, but basically,
I
I
didn't pay.
I paid, right, and me and my brother went to split it, and then I was like, "Oh, like, can you send me the money?" And he's like, I can't." And I was like, "Okay, like, so when am I getting this money?" And that's just
Well,
delivered.
was your just take a pair of his footy boots,
Nah.
hold them hostage, and then just say you get the boots back when I get my
No,
money.
just put like 10% interest on a day, and then once he signs that,
Yeah.
there you go. Then you
Was your dad there?
Nah, because he was in Brizzy.
Okay.
So it was me, my grandma.
Did you go to Prezi as well, or?
No, she's no presents on Mother's Day.
Oh,
No presents.
interesting. Did you get your?
I just card.
Oh.
What did you get your mum?
Got some. You know they're like AirPods, but they're the Google
Oh,
Google
Buds.
the Google
Buds.
the
Buds, isn't
Pixel ones.
Are they good?
Yeah, they've got like noise cancelling and stuff.
Fair enough.
So me and my brother went halves on those. Not special, so they weren't too bad.
Is she an Android user?
She's got an Android and an iPhone.
Oh, like a work in there.
Yeah, working her normal.
Double wielding.
Yeah, because she doesn't like to use the work phone all the time, so she resorts to the Android every now and again.
Fair enough.
But yeah, she wanted one with the actual buds. Because
Oh.
I bought her AirPods, but she didn't like
The metal, the physical.
how it doesn't have the actual buds, like the things that stick into your ear.
Uh,
She didn't like just the speaker thingy hitting her ears, so she wanted. Anyways, this is riveting conversation. But yeah, and then got her some perfume and that. So
very nice.
yeah,
Well,
might have missed the memo.
No, like you put a lot more effort into than what we did.
Well, back in the day, it used to be primary school $5.
Oh,
Yeah.
You buy the Anzac bickies just for yourself, though. Like, Happy Mother's Day, Mum. Can I eat them now?
how good was it? You go there and you back scratcher again.
Yeah, I'm looking at just the most useless shit. And I'm like, fuck.
Do you need
You
another
had to
screwdriver?
fight every bone in your body to not spend that money on the canteen as well. I reckon they set it up at the start of the day deliberately as well, just for that.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into a calling Kiz.
You've called Kiz. Who is it?
Fucking get him off.
Yeah,
Get Minson off.
he's coming off. Man, get him back off. Get him off. Get him off. Come on.
Minson off.
Rock.
Cracks me up every time.
Procrastinating your uni homework, leaving it to the last second, meaning that you can't go out with the boys on Saturday night because you've got to stay home and do uni homework.
Not on.
Not on.
I reckon it's on. Education's a big thing.
On a Saturday night.
Well, here's the thing, right? I don't want to do it at all. But if it's due that night and I've been putting it off the whole week,
Well, that's where you put it off. You don't put it off, and then you're
And you
able to
actually
enjoy
do
your
it.
weekend.
all my other subjects on today, this one I hate. I've discussed it a lot. I just do not enjoy this subject.
Did it feel better having to do it on a Saturday night?
I felt like it was like I'm doing something here. Like when I go, like I'm home, like I'm gotta get this done. Like there was no getting out of it. Like I don't care.
Well, there actually wasn't any getting out of it because it
There
was
was-
due that night.
It was.
Was it submitted on time?
It was submitted on time.
Was it passed?
I don't know yet.
Oh,
I doubt it.
Well,
guessing
if you want to
I'll
learn
send it
anything, kids, don't procrastinate or else you don't have a good time.
I can't talk. I reckon my procrastination goes further than just due date. Probably a week after.
No,
we
mine went to
we
not,
learned
not
that in PE,
submitted.
PE, yeah.
Mine went to not submit. To pass
Oh,
the
left it in my
subject.
locker.
To pass the subject, you need to submit these workbooks. Oh yes,
Yeah, I've got that.
They're in my
done. They're just in my
locker.
locker, in my bag, at home, in my
yeah.
car. Yeah.
Sharky, you can have your workbook.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about this. It was like,
And on
oh,
the last day, you grab a workbook and you just jot down everything.
God,
Work
remember that?
Worked a treat.
That was like so much better than every other class. It was like just right. It was like a workbook. It was like, yeah, we're going to tell you basically exactly what to put in it, and you pass. Hand this in.
I'm really glad. Actually, never mind.
No, what are you?
Year
glad
12
about?
was fun. That's
Oh,
what
the
I'll
year
say.
12 was
Year 12
like,
was fun.
I wouldn't do anything to change year 12.
No,
that was.
I wouldn't.
I would have
try-
dropped physics.
I'd probably try.
I would have dropped. No, I don't know. I wouldn't. There was just too much fun that we did in the back of that
I've got something to
classroom.
tell you after this. Remind me.
Like, you don't want to share it?
I
would've-
can't publicly share. it.
Oh,
I would have
okay.
tried less.
I agree.
Knowing what I do now, I would have
Yeah.
tried less. But even then, I didn't
I don't know.
I
It's
tried.
touchy.
I would have tried like a little more, but like,
You burnt yourself out.
yeah, at the start I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And at the end I was like, I literally hate everything.
Should have jumped on a general. You would have smashed that out.
Oh.
of the park.
But like, everyone tells me I should have done, like, methods will pay out in the long run.
But it-
Anyway, now
but
we're
it-
talking about
but
school.
it didn't.
No, but like, it'll pay out. in
I
terms of
love
what
the.
I'm-
My favorite part of it was each year you start school. It's like, oh, this is the year.
I'm
This
so
is-
dialed.
You go and buy like 8 like books to write your notes
Dude.
in and everything, and then 2 weeks into the school year they're turned to paper planes.
Year 12 exam, I printed 3 copies
Same.
of every subject practice exam 2017, 18, 19, 20, math, English, all of it. I did not touch a single one. I reckon I did half a math exam.
I never like printed stuff, so I had that much credit left over by the end that I printed
Yeah,
that many
hold on.
exams off.
Yeah.
Plus our end of year stuff, I printed
Oh,
on that,
yeah.
and I still had like a shit ton of money left.
Do I don't think I got
Like-
that money back. Where
No,
does
I
that
don't think
money
you-
go?
I
It
don't
goes
think
back
you-
to school fees.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't think
that's
you
so-
get it back.
What
Oh,
about-
it wouldn't go back to you. It went like to my siblings. Like that school fee.
Yeah,
just
because I was
accumulate.
going to say, like,
Does Lockie, like,
in
does he
year
get it?
12, I wouldn't have school fees.
Yeah, I think does yours
They'd be
just
done
pen
by
there?
now.
Does yours just pen there waiting for your brother?
Yeah, like, is that some teachers' fucking lunch money? Like,
Probably
It's a whole
just
Got
that.
a
year
bo-
of lunch
Someone
money.
just got a bonus.
if he's spending $10 a day, he'll be able to do it for 300 days for lunch.
Mm.
Because I built that shit. It was like they
Yeah.
asked for $50 a year or a semester or some shit.
Well, I just remember someone who you would go top it up like every like semester maybe.
I should have before I left just printed all
And,
the
like-
green ink, just like a page full of
Just
green.
absolutely fucked them.
Yeah. Anyways,
Um,
footy.
Yeah, footy at school as well. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal round this was as well.
Mm.
Just quietly.
It was great. It was like every game you sat down to, you're like,
Round of the
how
year.
good. Yeah,
I'm
probably.
calling it early. Round of the year.
You say, reckon we get nothing better?
Nothing better. I reckon this will be that in terms of football will be better than finals.
I don't think anything's gonna beat that Sunday.
That Sunday was I reckon that's the best Sunday of footy there's been in what? Years, I'd say.
yeah,
Easily.
long time.
Yeah. And even the other games, like they lived up to their potential.
The only problem with that game was it wasn't like goal for goal. It was
Brizzy
the
North.
Port Adelaide game, the Port and Adelaide
Yeah.
game. That game wasn't goal for goal. It was like one team kicks 3 and then the other
Yeah.
one team kicks 3 and then one kicks 3.
That was the same with the Saints and the Carlton. It was just a little bit slow. Like Saints would show moments and then Carlton would show moments.
Mm.
But there was never like oh shit, we got a game here kind of moment.
On the Saints game, we'll crack into that one. Keon, you were there. How's
Yep.
the feelings?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't too great. Lost a bet with one of the boys who we actually just listened to.
Number one fan.
So
He's appeared on the stories.
had to post a photo on my Instagram of holding the Carlton scarf. Wasn't happy about that one, but you know you do a handshake. You've got to live up to the bet. You know that's just how it is. Anyway, and I took the scarf off and threw it back on the ground, and he had to pick it up. So anyway, that I got a bit of enjoyment from that.
Did you call him a good boy?
Yeah,
That's what I was
I didn't
thinking.
get the good boy. I didn't do the good boy.
Ah.
But no, it was just sloppy from the Saints, to be honest. I thought that third quarter there was not much scoring in it, but I feel like it was high intensity. I don't know how you boys felt from watching it at home, but like there was no score. I think there was a goal, maybe 2 goals kicked in that quarter. At least that there was a patch for 15 minutes. There was no score, but I think that was just elite football. Tackle, pressure, spoil, shot for goal, chase down, tackle, bang. Like there was just, I think it was elite. But yeah, Saints at the end of the day were just too sloppy. And the Blues were able to get done. Like I look at the Saints players, I reckon fell over 3 or 4 times. I didn't see a single Blues player fall over. Our game plan probably doesn't suit the MCG. I don't think as much. Being that's a bit wider when we want to go switch the ball. So I'll hear what you say, and then I've got a little bone to pick.
Yeah, I don't know. This game was just. I was a little bit disappointed with the Saints. To be honest, I thought that they were going to come out firing and raring, and there was parts of it where I thought they really did show some good moments. I thought that Sinclair goal towards the end, like, could have brought them in. I was like, okay, here we go.
I think that goal is going to go very underrated in terms of goal. Like that's the thing you train for all your whole career, basically.
Yeah.
Pull off like once. Like that was just straight bang gone. Like that was just elite.
Unreal. And that was like, we saw moments of that, but we never saw it all string together over like a run. And that's all I wanted to see from the Saints, a run. Like I just wanted to see them kick 3-4 goals and get Carlton in their uncomfort zone, because we know when the Saints get uncomfortable, they kind of resort back to that kick to kick, that slow kind of footy. Whereas when they're dangerous, they're one of the most dangerous teams in the comp in the way they play. It's so funny because they can go from the worst team in terms of watching to the best team to watch. Like, I also think it didn't help that Jack Higgins came down with injury, and I just thought the forward structure just didn't really work much. They kind of resorted back to where's Max King a little bit. No Tim Membry, no really big tall. But yeah, I don't think it's alarm bells at all for St Kilda. I think they're still in a very good spot.
I think the thing everyone's going to remember is we're the 3rd youngest list.
Oh yeah.
Like, apart, you look at saying West Coast and Richmond, like we're the youngest list after that. So I think that's also another thing we've got to take into account, that maybe we're not playing like amazing footy, but
plenty of years.
Yeah, we're playing that many young kids that
I will say, I really hope you guys don't go for Tom Niconing and don't pay him that much money.
I think it's almost a way. Like Rowan Marshall's
could
good
get
enough.
So many, like you could probably get merit for that much. Like realistically, like
I don't think Tom Niconing's
he's not 1.7 mil either.
And he's not our problem solved to
Not
get
either.
a premiership or get up there.
The thing is though, if Rowan Marshall played for Carlton, you'd probably pay 1.7 for him as well. You know, like there's. In terms of skill, they're not far apart.
Well, they had basically identical stats on the weekend. So,
like, if I saw Tom Niconing go on that side, I don't think, wow, these guys are top 4. Thank God they pay. But if I see Merritt go in there,
exactly,
you know what I mean? Like, I really hope you guys make the right call. It seems like there is a little bit of a we've got money, what the fuck do we do with it kind of thing. So, get a good one, I reckon.
I've just got a bone to pick with a Saints fan, and it's deciding what the hell we want the football club to do as like our game plan, right? Because being in that game, I was sitting with the Saints members because it was at the MCG, and there was so many of them around me that when we got the ball, when we do our slow build up switch or whatever, and they go, oh, don't switch it, whatever. And then it's like, hey, you can get angry at that. But then we kick the ball down the line, right? Because they're going, just kick it. And then, what's his name? Haynes marks it. And then they go, oh, what a shit kick. That's the worst kick ever. And then I'm going, is there a way that the players can win here?
Yeah. No.
Like, we're so much smaller. They've got Wiedering, they've got Haynes, they've got Silvani. Like, they're bigger than us. Mitch Owens is playing like a foot smaller than his opponent, getting double teamed basically. don't know what you expect. And then, they go for the slow build up play. And then you're going, oh, seriously, come on. And then bang, they bite a kick into the middle. And then we go and then we score off of it. And then everyone starts cheering. Well, you know why that happened? Because we slowly built up. We broke down the defense of Carlton or even Freo the other week. And also, I think they just got to decide what do you actually want? Is there a way that the players can win, or are they just going to cop it no matter what they do?
Yeah. And that is the thing that probably is missing from St Kilda, in the sense that doing that slow play is fine, but you can't resort to that long kick on a defence like Carlton. And we saw it there with Haynes, Silvani, McGovern and Wiedering.
Yeah.
A defence like that, it's going to pick it off every time. And Sharman can only do so much as well as Mitch Owens.
And I think our problem, we're too slow when we go. You know what I mean? The thing we're taught is once you do that switch kick, you go.
Yeah.
You either go or you go back. It's one of the other. But we get to the other side and then just sit there and then look. Oh, can't go. Oh, we'll go the other way. Oh, then we go that way. Oh, we go down the line now.
Yeah. Your wingers are very
Well, I think it hurts that we don't have Mason Wood.
yeah.
Mason Wood is bigger. He should be
very
back
true.
this week.
When it's not on Brad Hill's side of the wing, Ronnie Burns kind of is just a little bit complacent, I come to find. He's happy to take the mark, go back, short 45 or something like that. He doesn't give me danger kick or panic run kind of thing. And Brad Hill's just starting to lose a bit of his pace over the years.
Yeah. I think Zach Jones, 30-3 in the VFL. He looked very good. I don't think he'll be not playing on the weekend.
Yeah.
Philippou looked very good coming back as well.
Yes.
Playing
Kick three?
predominantly 2-1, I think.
Oh, yeah, he could have kicked three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had
Mostly
predominantly in the forward line. And he just looked really good. Aerially
He
as
was
well.
just in the right spots at the right time.
And I think that just shows bang, we're missing him. Obviously, King, King comes in. I obviously don't like King, but he's going to give us 2 goals a game. And that's the thing I've said before that pisses me off is that, he'll get his 2 goals being lazy. Imagine what he could do if he's not lazy. But yeah, Philippou looks good. Get him in the midfield. Midfield should start to go good. So I think our team is slowly starting to get there. If we get Mason Wood back in as well, bit taller, we've got some more moves to do.
Windhager was pretty poor as well.
Yeah, it didn't seem much. He was good in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then, I agree. He did drop off. Jack Steele, I know another player. I know Wilson had a lot of the ball, but I think he needs, I think I've been saying it for a while, but I think he just needs a game in the VFL or just a rest, not even in the VFL. He's played every game since he's been drafted, his first game. I think he just needs a rest, give him time. He's an elite player. I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything. I think he's just getting maybe a bit tired.
Yeah. He's going for the Jack Crisp record.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. Or even as a sub. I wouldn't mind him as a sub, but not to degrade him. Just, we want to keep you healthy. You're a young player. You're an elite player.
As the sub?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Brad Hill.
Brad Hill, I wouldn't mind. But I think the Zach Jones as a sub works really well.
It does. He comes on and he just fucking flies.
But I also just like Zach Jones because you're going to get from the bounce of the ball 100%. But, Brad Hill's not a bad one. I don't mind it.
With that all wrapped up, Hawks versus the D's. I didn't get to watch this one, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
But close game. Like I'm looking at the phone, going, "Wow! Like, are we gonna do something? Are we gonna do something?" And then fourth quarter, pulled away. Was happy with that. Yeah, I don't know. I saw that there were some questionable decisions in terms of Hardwick.
Got absolutely legged.
That was interesting to see what comes out of that later on.
But yeah, what do you guys think about this one?
Same here. I think we were all together, so none of us really got to watch it. I was kind of same as Sharky. I had it up on my phone. I was looking at it while I was watching another game. I would love to know if the Melbourne missed shots. They kicked 7 goals, 14. If they were easy chances, if it was a very heavy rush stuff, because at 3/4 time they had 19 scoring shots to Hawthorn's 15. So, and they were down by a point. You turn that other way around and they're 13-6, and then they're up by 6 goals.
Yeah.
So Yeah, just unlucky in that second quarter. They kicked 2 goals 7, which hurt them.
Yeah. Well, I will say Harvey Langford's an
Oh.
absolute star.
His last 2 weeks have been very good.
If it's in the air, he is not dropping it. Like if it's a 1v1, I don't care who the fuck is on him. He's getting that footy. Kick 3, had the 22 touches. He was absolutely unreal. And the whole Melbourne side, they just kind of dropped off a little bit, like in the second half. Like Petrarca was flying in that first half as well. It just kind of slowed down in that second half. They all just kind of really slowed down, and no one really played terribly bad per se. I did feel a little bit for Clayton Oliver. He was on a tagging role on Newcomb, so he didn't get much.
But
of
he
the
did
ball.
well.
He did. He did do well. He got a little bit of the footy himself. He's obviously not used to it. Laid the 4 tackles, but this also could have been a game out for Jack Gunston. 3 goals, 4. He's sitting, second in the Coleman
So
now.
yeah, tied second.
Ridiculous.
I think he's played 2 less games and been sub for a game. So if you think about that,
Yeah, he got sub for Bruce, didn't he? He's in some ridiculous form. A little bit of alarm bells for Lloydie Meek. He was
He was average.
yeah,
Terrible.
he struggled.
He was against Max Gorn though.
yeah, but we haven't seen that bad from a ruckman, especially with Meek's skill. But yeah, this game was, I don't know, it was weird. I like
Well, we haven't beaten them in what was it 7 years?
8 years, I think
8
it was. Yeah.
So that streak's gone. So good win there.
Melbourne did so well in the first 3 quarters, they just fell away in the fourth, which you probably could expect a little bit.
Then we'll go ahead and move into Will, your nail biter of a game, might I add. It was unreal to watch. Close, came down to the last few seconds. There at any stage, someone could have taken it home. I only got to watch the last 5 to 6 minutes, but I reckon those were almost the best ones to clock into. How do you feel about it all playing out?
Oh, mate, this was just absolutely unreal. Like it wasn't as much of a blowout as I would have liked it to be. Like I said, it was going to be. It was playing out like that at the start. I think we were 4 goals up in the first quarter, but like we just kept giving away little cheap ones. Jamie Cripps just kept popping up, the bastard. But no, I was really proud of the way we closed out that game. Tom Lynch, if you lost me that game, I would have flipped out. Tom Brown, what a star. And like the crazy part is about that as well is that wasn't his best moment. Like as in, it was definitely his best moment, but he played a really good game apart from that as well. So that was a good thing. It wasn't like he had 5 or 6
No,
touches.
he was very good.
He had like almost 18, 19 touches. And another thing that I love to see is that, you know, it was those players that people don't really know too much that had really good games. Like Sam Banks had 29 touches. Seth Campbell's obviously doing really well, 20 touches and 2 goals. Lou Trainer's been on a tear at the moment. He had 18 touches as well. Tom Brown, 16 and a goal, you know, like Mansell's back into form. So I was so happy. Cop that Liam Baker, cop that Jack Graham. I know they probably don't really care because they just went there because they wanted to leave, not because they didn't like Richmond. But cop that Andrew McQualter. Yeah, how good was that?
Yeah, no, it was very good from the Richmond boy. I was happy with West Coast. They were able to stand up. Obviously, like you said, Richmond got on the board early. You kind of thought, oh yeah, West Coast, they're going to struggle here, but no, they kept their heads up. I think Harley Reid played a pretty good game as well. He kind of demanded the ball in the middle of the ground from kickouts and, you know, switch kicks and whatnot.
Wouldn't be so bad if he didn't give so many frees against.
Yeah, that's something that someone's got to have a bit of a chat to him about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Tom Brown tackle, that'll be shown for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
That's just late in a game, tired legs. Tom Gross had just come on as well.
Yeah.
So you got to think
He
that's
was
fresh
tearing it
legs
up as well.
Like that is fresh legs. That's not someone who's been playing for 118 minutes of a game, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, it wasn't like Tom Brown hadn't done anything either. He was he was around the ball. So yeah, just to be able to find that little bit left in the tank, chase down elite. And then I think some honourable mentions. I think Nick Vlaston again standing up in the back line. He was really good. Camden McIntosh started the game off quite well.
Yeah.
As well, sort of dropped off in that second half. Seth Campbell's looking like a really good player. Up
Boston's
forward
on
though,
for All Australian jacket
he
at the
is.
moment.
Yeah.
When we don't get smashed, it's always going to look better though as well. Sharky, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, as I said, I only caught the end of it, but that tackle to end it, a Lynch, I was like, oh, Lynch is throwing it in here. They're just going to convert. But then, the tackle at the end, absolutely, my jaw dropped. I felt so bad for any West Coast supporters. Just the two bounces back to back. I was like, what's he doing? Holding the ball. And I did see Liam Ryan get around him, which was good considering no one else seemed to get around him. Considering he's fairly newer fella, but I mean, you would be.
Coulter's reaction.
Yeah.
Far
Jeez.
out, he wasn't
Mine
happy.
would be a lot worse, like, to be fair.
I would have broken that glass.
Oh
and
yeah, I
jumped
would
it
have
out.
been on the
Oh,
ground like.
yeah.
But yeah, not too much to add from me on that one. Do you guys have anything else you want to discuss?
Not really. Yeah, I just think Richmond just held it. It was good to see two teams that are on the lower end of the ladder, and they were just able to fight it out in what everyone probably looked at. It wasn't the cleanest game, yet it was a very good football game. Like it was just awesome.
I
to
will
see
just
how
say
it was played out.
they, like people forget, but they absolutely smashed us in the preseason game. Like when we played up in Perth, they literally toyed with us, and whether or not you can say we were full strength or we only played a couple, like what was it, 2 players over the age of 23 or something like that. But regardless, like this West Coast team is not a bad team compared to us. So, like I really do take that win because we still weren't supposed to win that game. Like this is 3 games. This is 3 games better than we were supposed to do for the whole season, and we've still got 11, 13 rounds ahead of us. So, I'll just shout out Noah Bolter as well. I thought he was unreal on Jake Waterman. I only kicked the goal for the game. Saw a funny thing. It was like unreal win from the Tigers, and then by the time it finished, so someone was like, unreal win. Bolter has 60 hours to celebrate. He's going to be inside after that.
One thing I might just quickly add before we move on to Willie's Wonkers is the win line. So the win line at the start of the year was 2.5.
Yep. It's up.
Will, you and me had over.
Yep.
Keon, you had under.
Oh, wow.
So
It's up halfway through the year.
that's more impressive than what everyone else was thinking. So good job
What was
there, I guess.
West Coast sat at?
West Coast
I think it
was
3.5.
5.5.
Oh wow.
5.5.
And we all said over.
Jeez.
Richmond was, what was North? 9.5?
North's was... We skipped North's. We didn't do North's.
I think we did do
I
North.
think we did do North.
Oh, well, it's not recorded here.
I remember doing North because I went over and I think you two went under.
Yeah.
The other thing, I think it was elite game. Like that, the last 10 minutes, the pressure gauge that Fox Footy shows was Richmond 244 to West Coast 238, I think.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a sloppy game. Like they were just under that much pressure in that half. Like it was elite.
We'll go ahead and move to Willie's Wonkers.
Alrighty. The Wonkers for the week. A bit of a slow week. I say this every week. I either say it's a bit of a slow week or a great week. There's no mid-tier weeks. But starting off, we've got Aaron Francis. He's done well to even get in that position for the big man, to be honest. I was surprised that he was even
And
able
to pull away.
to pull away and make it there, but you got to finish your own work. Misses an absolute sitter snap in front of the goals. What was he, like 5 meters out? Right in front, no pressure really. He was going full pelt, so I'll give him that, but geez, that was terrible. So if you go watch that, if you watch the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, watch the replay. This one's a bit of a stitch up, but I'm going to say it anyway. Harry Mackay just absolutely spraying that kick for goal to clutch up.
Thinking.
That was
Thinking.
last week. I
No.
think.
Was
Was
it
it?
against St Kilda?
It was.
Yeah, he sprayed
Yeah.
it
He sprayed it.
out on the full.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
God. Time flies.
He just
hey?
he sprays it that many times.
Yeah, I know. I
You
was
don't
like,
know
wait, he
which-
sprayed it over there. Yeah, so absolute spray. Made up for himself. But, Jesus Christ. He needs to get a kicking coach in there. Seriously. Tommy Gross. I'm not going to say anything about the tackle. I'm just going to say him taking a bounce after literally 2 steps. Like, how excited do you reckon he was, Like,
Oh, he thought he was.
oh, I'm going to kick the goal here. I'm going to be the star at the MCG. All my mates and family are here. It's Mother's Day. Oh, that's one of those ones where you take the risk of the best day ever or the worst day ever,
Yeah.
And the last one was Tyler Brockman giving the 50 away to Luke Trainer. Oh, it wasn't 50. It was just a reversal, I think.
It was the reversal that then was a short kick to a goal.
Yeah, reversal. He did give the 50 away because he had a 50
Oh,
made a
yeah.
penalty. So he took a mark and he got a 50 and he gave it away by pushing over the young Luke Trainer. And Luke Trainer, he flopped pretty well for it as well. It was pretty impressive from Luke Trainer because I don't know how he would see it coming because he was facing the other way. So that was quick reaction time to flop that quickly. But yeah, that was hilarious. We kicked the goal. It was a 2-point game. If he didn't give that away, we wouldn't have kicked the goal and they would have won by 4 points. So say what you will, but yeah, those are the wonkers for the week.
To Freo versus the Pies, I just want to start off with saying I felt that Freo couldn't get it into their forward 50 at all the whole night.
They could get it in, but they were just getting absolutely slammed out of it.
Like every time it got in, it was like,
straight back
it's
out.
like, who's going to mark it? It's not going to be someone from Freo.
They made Billy Frampton look like he
Oh,
actually
God.
should have played a premiership
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just disappointing for me. I thought Freo were going to put a bit more up. Like they used the ball well, but as I said, I feel like they just weren't able to convert. And that's credit to Collingwood's defense with Darcy Moore. There was someone else back there. Who was it? Cameron. Cameron was down there a bit because I think he was
got
injured.
back for a few.
Yeah, he was back for a few, had a few intercept marks. But yeah, what do you guys think about this one?
Yeah, Freo should have won this game realistically. Like if you want to talk about inside 50s, 62 inside 50s to 34. That is double. You've doubled the inside 50s and you've lost by 14 points.
How many were there in the fourth, if you can see?
I don't think I can say that.
Oh, well,
Um,
I just felt like the whole fourth quarter was just Freo had the ball and they'd ping it in. And it was like,
but yeah, just come straight back.
It's just
out.
because Collingwood just clogged it
Yeah.
really well.
They did really good, and Freo just didn't adjust. They just Frederick kicks it right, literally directly out of Collingwood player. It's like I don't know what I'm watching here, but fair play to Collingwood. I thought they'd have it in him. Jamie Elliott's on a tear. He kicked 6.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Had Dacos up front for a while because of that Corky, I believe.
Fair play, Corey Wagner. Absolutely, unreal tag. He did a really good job. I'll give him that.
And the ones that Dacos got, Wagner was on him. They were just good kick. Like they were good kicks. They were
Yeah.
out in front.
Oh,
nice
yeah.
kicks where you just go, you've got to wear that
Lace
one. Like
out.
it's just
Dacos would have taken his first contested mark, but he was chopped and it was a free kick. But he could have kicked 3, Dacos,
you could have in a span of
in the span of literally
3,
Archer
4
Reid,
minutes.
Murphy Reid moments,
Yeah.
But yeah, Freo really need to sort out their inside 50 work. You can tell they want to use that space for Tracy to go in. But
Yeah, but they just
Collingwood were just really good. They were like, we know that you're going to bomb it in and you're not going to look for that lace out, so I'm not going to worry about my bloke over there. I'm going to sit in this hole. I'm
And
gonna
they
take a
were able to
mark.
come back with 4 points after resting a few players as well.
Yeah, really well.
Which is really good for them.
Anything else you guys want to add to that one? With that takes us to Dons versus the Swans. I didn't get to catch this one, but again, I heard it was a bit of a
See, don't let this score line confuse you. This was a snooze fest of a game.
Oh, yeah. It was,
how was it?
Yeah,
it was a very
terrible
late
game.
comeback.
Until the fourth quarter, like the second half of the fourth quarter, absolute snooze fest. Like, it's terrible.
It was, again, a game where Sydney, once again in the fourth quarter, cannot take their opportunities. 3 goals, 5. Just opportunity. Essendon kicked 1 behind for that whole quarter. And then you have 8 shots, you can only kick 3 goals. They probably had a couple where they had out on the full as well. So, yeah, really disappointing by Sydney. They just can't seem to, start a game well, and then when they maybe going to go on a run, they can't capitalise on it.
Anything else you guys have to add to that?
I think Nick Martin was elite. He had 38 touches at 100% time on ground.
Yeah.
He didn't go to the bench. He was absolutely everywhere. Hitting his kicks as well for one of probably the first times in his career. He went at he went high, I think. But yeah, he went at 76%. So I thought he was really good. He was literally everywhere. Whether it was taking a mark or it was sending the ball inside 50, he was really good. And it was just good to see someone who wasn't Zach Merritt be the player to step up. I mean, Zach Merritt still kicked 2 good goals, but he was shut down to only the 19 touches. But players like McGrath stood up, Redmond stood up, Archie Roberts stood up. And just a noticeable thing, I'm putting on watch the high half forwards from Sydney. If you just go back, a lot of the half backers from Sydney's opponents end up having very good games. So that's just something to put on watch for Sydney's high half forwards. If they can, maybe man up, you wouldn't let your opponent have that many chances to get the ball, because from the back line, you've got Martin 38, McGrath 35, Redmond 32, Archie Roberts 27, Zach Reid 27, Jackson Pryor 23. Someone do the maths, but yeah.
Yeah, well, with that all wrapped up, we'll basically go on to Suns versus the Dogs, because we got no on and not-ons this week. So make sure you send them in. We'll put the stories up. You can DM us if you would like. Love hearing from you guys. So make sure to send them through next time if you could. Make them creative. We can't have heard them all, so we'd love to hear it. But yeah, Suns versus the Dogs up in Darwin, I believe. So hot game. I know for a fact the Hawks are up there at the moment climatizing, because we haven't played there in a long time. I think it's been since Sam Mitchell's first year. So the environmental factor plays a big deal. What do you guys think about this one?
I think it's going to be a very interesting one that's going to come out, and that could really play in terms of what the 8's going to look like, in terms of how, Gold Coast goes. Obviously, they've got that game spare, and the Dogs, it's a good one to win for Gold Coast. Obviously, it wasn't really at home, but it's just a good win to see them win a game against a team that's been really competitive for a while. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that one stacks up against for the rest of the year, because I think that's going to be a crucial game that might come back and bite the Bulldogs. Obviously, they went for a very late run in the fourth quarter, where I think the Bont went and kicked 2 or something, and maybe only kicked the 1. But the Bont had opportunities. He had 1 goal 3 at the end of the game. Disappointed to not seem to be able to capitalise. And it was Gold Coast who was able to take the moments with them. I thought Tuke Muller really stood up as a senior player. And Daniel Rioli, again, he sets his teammates up, and it's really good to see. And I understand why Hardwick was so keen to bring him over, as well as Noble. Combined, they had the 47 touches and 2 goals and over 1,000 meters gained. So the two of them are looking like lethal weapons.
Wilbur?
Yeah, I didn't catch this game, so excuse my knowledge on it, but yeah, really good for Gold Coast to get a win, especially up in Darwin. We know they like playing up in Darwin as well, so that was normally a game that you could pencil in for them when they were a pretty bad side. We always knew it was going to be a tough game. I think I had the Bulldogs to win this game, but geez, it's hard to tip against Gold Coast now when they're at home. You know, it was already pretty tough, but I think they dropped a couple games and you weren't too sure. But you can't Darwin as a home game. I think they played really well. Just having a look at the stats here from some of the players, hit the scoreboard as well from that halfback role, as you were saying. So, yeah. Did anyone see Buku Kama's jump over Mac Andrew?
Yeah.
Knees over his head, like
That is ridiculous. And they're mates, and he kicked him in the head. So
he's got a good
Mac
leap.
Andrew was on the floor for a while as well after
Yeah,
that.
he's got a good leap on him.
Yeah. That's what I got out of this game.
Anything more you guys want to add to that? Well, to the showdown.
I think Libba is in some elite form. At the moment, he has 35 touches, 10 clearances, 10 tackles, 700 meters gain. Like, he's putting up numbers that Libba doesn't put up, I think, which are crazy.
There's going to be a lot of honourable mentions for the top 5. That's for sure.
To the showdown, the tiebreaker. This was a good game. Now, this wasn't one of the games where you're like, oh, yeah, like it was goal for goal, as you guys were saying before, but it was one that was like, one team had their moment, and then the next team would have their moment. And it just kept going like that. And I watched a solid portion of this. And yeah, how good of a game. And it's just good for South Australia. Like, imagine being there in the crowd. It would just be electric. What do you guys think about this one? Like, how did you guys feel about it?
Didn't get to catch too much of this one, but I do know the noticeable point was Port Adelaide had 22 more inside 50s than what the Crows did, and they had the exact same amount of scoring shots. So that one's a big key one. You know, it really hurts when you can't score when you're going inside 50. Riley Philthorpe looked elite in moments that I did see him play. And then Rankin, stepped up in that fourth quarter, kicked 2 goals in a minute, basically, put the game to bed. And then, oh no, Port came back and they almost got it done. But again, elite showdown. I mean, we wrote Port out. We said, this is probably going to be a comfortable one for Adelaide. But again, it just shows why a showdown is so difficult to pick, because you could be first and 18th and, you know, you still don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And same goes with, you know, Port will always show up for that game. You know, it's like the round 1 Richmond Carlton. It's, you know, it's all those big rounds that doesn't matter where you are at all. But I just want to shout out Mark Keane on that mark towards the end of the game. Ice in the veins. To go back like that with courage and take that mark is crazy. Probably iced the game for the Crows, so very much fair play to him.
Yeah, what if Connor Rosie could have kicked that goal? That would have been...
He was ridiculous.
He was very good. Yeah, he won the medal.
Yeah.
Not too often will you win a medal when you
On the
lose.
losing
So
side, yeah. That move to
elite.
half back.
It's been good for him.
It's been good for him. Very good.
I think it's also been good for him because that means Ollie Wines hasn't had to push out. Drew hasn't had to push out.
Yeah.
Morton Francis is getting his 20-plus touches a game now as well. So
Yeah. It definitely, he's the Houston now, which is not, I guess, ideal for Port because, you know, you'd probably rather have Houston in and then Rosie gets to play midfield. But, you know,
they're making it work.
They're making it work and it's doing well. So,
Do you guys have anything much more you want to touch on this? I don't know what to say at the end.
just move on.
Move on. You always say...
Okay, I'm just making sure. I don't want to cut any of you guys off. That takes us to Kiz's crack.
Let me have a crack at him.
Let me have a crack at him first.
Let me have a crack at it.
Get all worked up enough to crack it.
Yeah, so not to put a somber mood on the round, but football won this round, but the umpires most definitely didn't. And main one is looking at the Fremantle Collingwood game versus the Essendon Sydney game. There was a lot of 50s paid against Sydney for being not moving off the mark, not pushing out a protected area and whatnot. And then you go and watch that Fremantle Collingwood game, and both of them are sort of just dawdling their way out and, coming around the player on the mark. I think Nakos did a couple times. He got pinged once, actually. But those are two noticeable ones. And even just the umpiring at the moment is really frustrating because normally you see on a Thursday night, okay, this is what's going to be implemented. This is sort of what they're going to be focusing on for the round. And then you get a random game where they decide, oh no, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that. I think umpiring at the moment, and it's not even focusing on something. I hate that. Look, don't focus on something. How about you focus on the whole rule book? We're not focusing on if players are going to protected zone or keeping their feet on the ground or whatever. Can we focus on the 100 pages of rules there are? So I think the umpires at the moment are on the chopping blocks. They're struggling, and I think they've almost ruined, in my opinion, a great round of football. Even in some of those close games, I think the whistle needs to be put away a little bit more. I mean, Bailey Smith said it himself really well last week, but yeah. And then the other one is Hugo Ralph-Smith. Well, I think this is a player that was absolutely bailed out by his own teammate. That Tom Brown chase down tackle. So we'll probably get this on TikTok, but Tom Brown comes and runs further away than what Hugo Ralph-Smith is. And Hugo Ralph-Smith, I was showing Will before, is just gone for a bit of a dawdle. Just watches Tom Gross and Brown chases him down. And I'll tell you what, if Brown didn't do that, Ralph-Smith would have been absolutely copping it come Monday or Tuesday, and probably in the media as well, but internally definitely would have copped it. Might even still cop it. For the lack of effort. And that's something where I almost go, well, that's almost droppable. Will, even before I showed him that, was saying he didn't feel like he should still be in the team. And just off of that moment where I just go, if you're not willing to, put the effort in, put the body on the line to win your team the game with 30 seconds to go, then, why are you playing? The care factor is not obviously there. So I think just off of that sole 3 seconds, just that mentality is enough to see him in the VFL next week, because I think that's just absolutely poor. Just I don't know how, Will, you feel about that, but I think that's quite disappointing. But and then it's kudos to Brown, who put his head down and went for the chase down.
Yeah.
That takes us to the first game of Sunday, GWS versus the Cats. Unfortunately, didn't get the... Okay, which one?
Oh, no, he's right, because we've already spoken about it.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not an idiot. Okay, well, that's just rude. That's HR's mentioning that one. Didn't I say HR was getting ripped into about something else? We talked about it during the week.
Yeah, for someone that
Yeah.
says he never talks about HR.
you did. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, at the start, yeah.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, didn't get to catch this one. Was too busy with the Mother's Day. What did you guys think of this?
Just an elite game of football. Like, high scoring. That first half, 120 points
It
to
was
be scored,
ridiculous.
straight kicking. It was just out of the midfield, bang on the chest. It was just elite football. Loved every bit of it. Everyone was just having fun out there. It was honestly an awesome game of football. That was a finals-like game.
Oh, yeah. This game was crazy. This game could have gone so much higher scoring. Like, at halftime, I was like, holy shit. We had a game on our hands
Like,
here.
I was feeling a type of, 130 to 140 type of vibes.
Yeah, 100%. This game was ridiculous. I thought everyone played good. I will just say, though, Stengel could have made this game a lot easier for Geelong.
In the first half, and then coming out early in that third quarter, missed a couple crucial shots.
Just
kicks.
crucial, something we don't really, obviously he's not known to be the best set shot. He's more of a, run and crumb. But those are the ones you have to go back and kick as a forward. That's your craft. He did the hard work, and he just, it would be so frustrating. But yeah, Jesse Hogan, outstanding. Bailey Smith was absolutely outstanding at the end there when he shrugs off that tackle and gets it inside and they have a shot at goal. That's the kind of shit you need, like someone that's able to do that. I thought Ollie Dempsey as well was really, really good, and Sam DeConey in the back line. But I don't even know what to say about this game because this game was another ridiculously crazy one. It was so close. Just backfire. Like one of the best games of the year for sure.
I mean, the key difference was a bloke who can sit at full forward and just
Kick
clunk
seven.
him up.
Yeah.
Just absolutely clunk it in his hands. He had the 22 touches. I think that game against West Coast where he had the 9 or however many he had that game, 8, something like that.
Yeah.
He only had 13, 14 touches. But this game, he was getting higher up the ground.
He had like 22 touches.
Yeah,
I
he had
think.
22 touches, 9 handballs, which is the main notice. 350 meters gained. He was 2 tackles as well. He was elite. I mean, what was he? He was common medal last year, wasn't he? I think. And I don't see why not. He can't do it again. Like he's just elite. He demands the ball. I tell you what, though, Stringer was looking very good.
Oh, so good.
He was looking good
He could have kicked 3. Like
Could've.
that last one.
in the
so
first
could've-
quarter. Like,
I'm pretty sure he hit the post on that last one.
did
he-
it?
yeah,
I
I'm pretty
can't-
sure he hit
I
the
can't remember,
post.
but he was looking very good early. And
I
then-
think he was like, all right, I've kicked 2, I've hit the post. That's me done.
Yeah.
I'm all good with that.
And then Hogan said, "All right, Jakey, you step down. I'll come in." But yeah, just an elite game of football from everyone. Tom Green, 37 touches, a goal and a behind in that fourth quarter that he could have kicked. That goal in the third quarter was good. He looked good. I think the 6 clearances though. It was a weird game of everyone shared the clearances. Like I didn't feel like someone really just walked it out too much. It was very open.
Yeah, I'm really starting to like Sean Manor as a player. He's really starting to get like, he's a player you don't like. You want to play up on him in a dire moments of a game. He'll kick a goal. He'll break your heart. He's that kind of player.
I think as well, Mitch Duncan for Geelong, he's come back into the team.
Yeah,
He's had his first 2 games back. He's
confirmed. Hit the point. The post.
hit the post.
Yeah.
He's had the 20 plus touches in both games, and he's given Geelong a bit more run and carry that Holmes and Smith were able to give them. Humphreys obviously was out as well, so that helped.
To finish off the round, we had a draw of close games all round. But this one really surprised me with Brizzy and North. I thought Brizzy were going to put North away well and truly, but North stood their ground. What did this one look like for you guys? What was the takeaways?
I thought Brisbane played really bad.
Yeah. Why? What were some things that you put on the board at the start of training this week and go, what the hell happened there?
Well, they were sloppy. Their inside 50s, they just really didn't really help themselves out. Like a couple of their goals as well coming from free kicks. Obviously, Bailey got one late in that. I think it might have been the 4th or the 3rd, but I don't know. They were their worst enemy there. I actually don't think North were playing really that good, to be honest. But I was just watching Cam Zerha just be wide open in the forward 50 and stuff like that, just losing it out the middle. And I don't know. I was just really disappointed with how the Lions played on the weekend, to be honest, because I thought it was kind of they shot themselves in the foot kind of thing. But fair play to North.
Keon?
I saw it a little bit differently to Will. I felt that North Melbourne actually did their homework and they found him out. Like you said, Zerha was able to get out the back a couple of times. Their backline sort of worked out. It's almost always going to go to Hipwood, so you can sag off your opponents a couple of times. Which hurt him a few times when someone like Rayner was able to take a contested mark or something like that. But yeah, I feel like North really went and, they did their homework. At first I thought it wasn't going to be a very close game. 2 scores in the first 45 seconds and I thought Brisbane are going to run away. But yeah, North were able to pull it back and did really well. Looked like they went and did their homework. Just a pity they weren't able to get the job done. They had a couple of chances. Obviously, Zerha, Darling had a chance as well. But then you go down the other end as well. Brisbane had a few goes. But it's good to see North, we say, they need to finish games. They got points. So they're getting better week by week. the skill execution was a little bit better. There was one play where they had a link of handballs, and then it was a bad handball to Wardlaw. He then struggled to pick the ball up off the ground, and then he had to boot on his boot. That probably almost ended up costing them a clean inside 50. But yeah, just a skill execution again from North Melbourne. I'll harp on about it until I see them fix it up.
Yeah. Do you feel that this game helps them push forward to maybe progress a bit more as a side, or?
I think it does, because I was glad that it was a draw for most part of the last 10 minutes versus North Melbourne being up a point,
I
because
agree.
it means they had to go. It wasn't going to save the game sort of mode that they've probably traded for. I was kind of watching it and I went, it's actually good for them. Even if they lose, it's good for them that it's a draw and they have to, pull the kick off, which
Panic
they
mode.
did.
Yeah.
And I think, again, Caleb Daniel fucked them up the ass when Comben got a mark. Comben handballed it to Daniel.
Oh,
and
I was.
with 6 minutes to go, and he's gone for a long down the line, bat side. Yeah, that kick might be on. Maybe not when there's a 2-on-1 and there's still 6 minutes to go. It's not do or die. Like,
I
he
also
didn't have
thought
to do it.
that was a terrible handball.
It was a terrible. There was no
Comben
need for the
Comben
handball.
had zero need, and Daniel was immediately pressured.
Mm.
They weren't fooling anyone there. And I guess maybe you trust Caleb Daniel's kick more, but
I wouldn't be trusting him at the moment.
yeah, but Comben's not a bad kick.
No.
Back yourself. You've taken the mark. Even just chew up time. It's a close game. But yeah, I saw that moment. I
Yeah.
completely agree with you. That kick was terrible. The whole play was just. There was a lot of moments like that where I'm watching. I'm like,
It's
what are you doing? Like, North could have won this game, but it's like a dumb kick here and there, a bad handball, a fumble. It's just those little things where
just switch
Alistair
on.
Clarkson's there. Like, I can't coach this at this point. I've got you guys in the perfect situation. Whether or not you can pick the footy up or not is up to you. But I agree with you. I think that it is very good that they had to deal with that pressure for at least 10 minutes, that push forward, that kill, kill mentality. And I think this does help them add experience to their boys.
With that all wrapped up and the round done, we'll get into Kiz's undercover night. Who've united this week?
Yeah, I've gone for maybe someone who probably doesn't rack the ball up as much. He did last year. He started his career off quite well, to be honest. And then this year he's had a bit of a positional move to a bit of a small forward, high half forward. Ben Long has been killing it as his teammate, as the main number one small forward. But Will Graham, been able to hit the scoreboard. He's played 8 games, kicked the 10 goals, 5 behinds, sort of, averaging about 12 touches a game. I think he's been really good. His pressure has been awesome. He's averaging about 5 tackles a game as well for a pressure forward. I think that role has suited him really well. Obviously, wasn't going to get much in the midfield that even Flanders has been pushed out. So Hardwick has gone, I know you're a good player. We're going to put you as a high half forward, move up and down the ground, and he's been able to hit the scoreboard. And on the weekend, he kicked 2 goals too, one early, had a shot late that he did spray a little bit, but he just finds himself in the right positions to get 4 shots on goal against a Bulldogs backline that's pretty good. I thought he did really well on the weekend. And yeah, I've always liked Will Graham from the moment he
Works really hard.
he debuted. So yeah, it's good to see him being able to hit the scoreboard and taking on the positional move really well.
There you go. Welcome to the team, Willie.
Now into the tips. So first of all, shout out to the winner of round 9, Mia. She got 7 of the 9 correct. So shout out there. Then we have still the first and reigning king of the league is Matt. Then we have me at 5th with 6 out of the 9 this week. God, couldn't get that out. Then we have Keon, you're 9th at the moment, with this week having 6 out of the 9. And then Will, you're 8th, having 5 out of the 9.
Yeah.
So that's for our league tipping, obviously, but for our one where we don't put in our mistakes and we always talk about it here on the podcast.
Well, I think Keon's tipping on the game was the default.
So was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked out better.
Yeah, mine wasn't default and I got 5. So
Overall this week we had. Let me quickly pull it up here. Will, you had 4 right. Keon,
I had 5 right.
what was the one you didn't have right?
I put the exact same tips in the game that I put in for nothing but footy.
Well,
I'm going to read you my tips and you tell me what you fucked up on. All right, ready? My tips for round 9. I had Collingwood to beat Freo.
yeah,
I had St Kilda to beat Carlton. That's
Yeah.
wrong. I had Hawthorn to beat Melbourne.
yeah,
I had Sydney to beat Essendon.
yeah. Which
I-
that's wrong, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I had Bulldogs to beat Gold Coast, which
Yeah.
is wrong. I had Adelaide to beat Port Adelaide.
yeah,
I had Richmond to beat West Coast.
yeah,
I had Geelong to beat GWS, which is wrong.
yeah.
And then I had Brisbane to beat North.
Oh, okay. Well, I counted like that as a nothing.
Why?
I counted the draw as a nothing, not a win.
Oh,
Draw's
right.
a win.
Draws
okay.
a win.
Okay. Well, that's fine then. So you got 5. Keon also got 5, and I would have had 7. So, yep, that puts us at overall. Me and Keon are tied at 49. It'll be, and Will, you're at 46. So 3 behind.
Yes.
So that's where we all stand in the tipping. We'll now move to Will's Where's Your Wallet?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Alrighty. Starting off, we've got the Saints versus the Blues game. And here we had Hugh Boxall. Now, this is a bit of an interesting one because I'm not sure how he's done this, but this is his second game, right?
Yep.
He's got careless contact with an umpire. Second offence.
Well, so he's done it in both games.
He's done it both games and he's copped a $3,000 fine,
Oh,
which
good-
I
good
reckon
on
for
you,
Hugh Boxall is over his matchy. So he just lost his entire matchy. So that's not great. Rowan Marshall, he's copped attempting to trip.
Again.
First offence. He's copped a $1,500 fine. And then George Hewitt, actual tripping. Second offence. $6,250 fine.
Jesus.
So attempting to trip someone is a $1,500 fine for your first offence, but actually tripping someone on your second offence is $6,000. So you want to be real careful.
So did Rowan Marshall not get fined for tripping last week?
We didn't do the review,
But did he
but it
not?
says first offence. Oh, this is attempting to trip.
But he did.
So he would have tripped last week. But I'm wondering, is this saying like you're that shit you couldn't even do it kind of thing? Like you tried to, but you fucking failed. Oh no, I've gone out of it by accident. Give me 2 seconds. Yep. Next up, we've got the Saturday's games. And there wasn't much here. Will Setterfield gets tripping. And that's a $3,000 fine. So we figured out that attempting to trip is a $1,000 fine on your first offence, but actually hitting the trip off is a $3,000 fine on your first offence, which is a bit of a stitch up, to be honest. So, yeah. Oh, God, I've gone out of it again. And then we'll move on to the Sunday games here. The Richmond versus West Coast Eagles. Tyler Brockman cops striking on Luke Traynor. A $1,500 fine. So that 50-metre penalty that he gave away, that was, I'm guessing what it was. It was, was it in the first quarter that he gave? Yeah, first quarter.
You're saying attempting, like, swinging on someone or striking is the same as tripping first offence?
No, it's half of that. So if you swing on someone, striking or whatever it is.
Oh, it's attempting. Sorry, attempting. It's the
Yeah.
same as attempting to trip
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
Is the same as actually physically hitting up someone.
Yes. But then if you do trip someone, whether you meant it or not,
It's worse.
it's
than,
$3,000. But if you strike
Worse.
someone, it's $1,500. So I'm not gonna question him. This is money for me. And then we've got Kane McAuliffe, his first game for the year. Careless contact with an umpire. It's always the boys that aren't really around it yet, and the umpires, I reckon, they do zigzags. Or
Yeah,
something.
they're trying to.
They're looking for the cash. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's their bonus. Like it has to be. They're not full time, so they're gonna find another way to get a cashier on the side. So he comes to $1,500 fine, and then Brady Hoff, he gets careless contact with an umpire, first offence, $1,500 fine. Into the North Melbourne versus the Brizzy Lions game as well. Josh Dunkley, he cops careless contact with an
Oh
umpire,
my god!
First
this is getting
offence.
out of hand.
$1,500 fine. So boys,
Most of this was tripping and umpire
careless
contact.
contact. Yeah. Well, it's always bloody careless contact with the umpire. I'm telling you, the umpire stands in front of them and goes like this. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
We need to start-
He's like running routes on him.
We need to start a segment where it's just actual fines, not tripping or umpire,
We should go to a
Like-
game and just like pull out the binoculars
and just watch
and
it.
just watch it. Watch the
We'll-
umpires.
we'll
Like
get-
a game we don't care about, like a North West Coast.
Like we'll get the four of us. We'll go four.
Yeah.
There's three of us. We get someone else with us as well,
Yeah.
and we
Then
each just watch
each
one
umpire.
umpire.
And we'll bring another bloke to watch the boundary umpires and tell them that they get it as well. But yeah, there's the Wills. Where's your wallet for the week?
Grouse.
Jeez, Wills, where's your wallet for the week?
Yeah, I
Say
don't
that
think you
for
said that
us.
one before.
Yeah.
I was just a quick one. Going back to the tips.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
Yes.
Did you? Or was that last week where you predicted the margin?
Oh, yeah, Thursday night.
Yeah,
I predicted the margin right.
yeah.
I got Collingwood by 14 points. Spot on. And there was a late crunch time goal.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
thought that
good.
was pretty cool.
I think back in the day, you got like a big frame Big Mac or something. Back
Yeah.
in the day when I did as like an 8-year-old.
I don't remember. I don't think I've done that in years.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done it, to be completely
Yeah,
honest.
neither. Like, I reckon if I've done it, I was in like maybe year 5 accidentally. In like a tipping comp with the prom.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
But yeah, Collingwood by 14 points.
Very good.
I was really happy with that.
That takes us to the 3-2-1s for the round. We'll start off with one vote. Will, kick us off.
I've got Tommy Brown. You know, call me biased, call me what. It's only one vote. I will just say before I give my first vote, I've got some honourable mentions. All right.
It's going to be a long list.
Bailey Smith, he's first on my list of honourable mentions. He was ridiculously good. Next up on my honourable list is Dane Zorko. He was ridiculous as well. I do apologise to Dane Zorko for him not being in the list. Next up, Tom Liberatore. He's on my list. He's on my honourable mentions. If I wasn't so biased, any of these blokes could have gotten over Tom Brown. But no, I don't have my Keon's undercover nights.
Underground.
Yeah.
It's underground.
So I've got to give my love somewhere else. And then I think that is it for my honourable mentions. Yeah, I think that's about spot on. But yeah, so Tommy Brown, he was unreal.
Keon, your one vote?
Charlie Comben, I thought throughout the whole game he was elite. And in that last quarter, he was awesome. Broke his record for in most intercept possessions which he set last year against Brisbane as well. So he likes the matchup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It
Oh,
was-
I forgot to say something. That match draw, North Melbourne versus Brisbane, they kicked the exact same score.
oh yeah.
So they both kicked 10 goals. They both had 2 rushed.
Mm-hmm.
They both had 4 points on the left-hand
wow.
side of the post. They both had 3 points on the right-hand side of the post. And they both hit the post on either side once.
Wow.
Like, identical.
That is actually crazy.
It's
That might have never
ridiculous.
happened, ever.
I don't think that's ever happened in
That is unbelievable.
the history of the sport.
That is crazy.
10 goals, 11 each, and the exact same. Rushed everything.
Yeah, wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd just blow your minds a little bit. But, yeah, that was, yeah. I didn't say that. I saw that on Instagram. So
I think I saw that too.
Another stat I thought was interesting about that game as well. Coming into that game, and it will happen this round as well. First time that the team on top of the ladder had the lowest percentage in the 8.
Oh.
Brisbane had the lowest percentage in the 8 coming into the round that get there on top of the ladder, and it'll happen again this round as well.
Yeah, they've got the lowest percentage right now.
Yeah, so that's never happened before in the AFL
Wow.
as well.
That's crazy.
Will, 2 votes.
Jesse Hogan. He was ridiculous. Kicked 7 goals, had the 22 touches. You don't see 22 touches from, a bloke that's playing full forward. So that's Jeremy Cameron numbers right there, but with 7 goals. So, yeah, well done.
I've gone with Zach Reed. He had the 27
Oh, yeah.
touches, 14 marks, 18 intercept possessions. Thought he's elite. He's been awesome the last couple of weeks as well. Really
really hit
finding
his
his form. It's
stride.
good to see him get some consistent games. I thought he was amazing to stand up in that game.
3 votes.
I had Charlie Coleman. Just watching that game, like his game from the start was impeccable. But that fourth quarter as well, like I genuinely believe if he wasn't playing that game, they would have lost the game.
Yeah, fair, like a lot.
That fourth quarter, it was literally like, and it wasn't like it was just landing in his lap. His positioning was absolutely perfect. So with how the game went and everything, I thought he was just really, really good.
I've got Jamie Allett, 6
Yeah.
goals, 2.
Oh,
He was
he's
awesome.
in my honourable mentions as well.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, he was awesome. 6 goals, 2. Started early and finished strong as well.
Yep.
4 votes.
I've got Nicholas Martin. He was just ridiculous. 38 touches, everyone would have seen he was just literally everywhere. Like everywhere I turned my head, he was there. So I thought he played a really, really good game. Yeah.
I've gone with Jesse Hogan, 7 goals. He was the difference throughout the whole game. Geelong didn't have a Jesse Hogan, and that's what ended up
Yeah.
losing them the game, basically.
Yeah, they had a Shannon Neal, but
Yeah, but
not enough.
not a Jesse Hogan.
Yeah.
5 votes.
I had Connor Rosie, showdown medal winner. I thought he tore it up. He was he's playing some unreal football at the moment, and to win the medal in a game that they lost is, I thought was pretty big.
I've gone with Nick Martin. Like Will said, he was everywhere. I think he set up quite a few goals. His kicking was actually all right. I know I'm a big say his kicking sometimes is not very good, but he was good.
Yeah.
So, the leaderboard.
Ooh.
It sits at a man's come out of nowhere,
Oh wow.
right? Now, we didn't do the review last week, which we don't really want to talk about, but Max Gorn got 2 5s there. So Max Gorn has had 4 mentions in our thing, all of them being 5.
So he's on 20 votes.
So he's on 20 votes. So he's skyrocketed to the top.
He's first.
Yeah. Then Zach Merritt at 16. So 4 points below.
Jeez, never mind. I was thinking of Nick Martin for some reason. He's gone.
Then we have Matt Rao and Connor Rosie at 14 apiece.
In equal third.
And then we have Lockie Neal
In
and
fourth.
Jack Sinclair
Oh.
at 12.
Can we go fifth?
5th would be Bailey Smith and Caleb Sarong.
Wow.
Yeah,
Caleb
okay.
Strong hasn't polled in a while as well.
Mm.
So
Where's young Finn Callahan nowadays?
I
where is
reckon he'd be
Finn?
about 10th.
Where is Finn Callahan? Oh,
Equal 10th at least.
yeah, he's the next one down with Jack McRae.
But Jack McRae got 2 perfect 5s, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
I swear Jack McRae had 11 votes.
few more votes.
Yeah.
I think he's been more scattered around.
Yeah.
Let me quickly.
Maybe he never got 2 5s.
Yeah, he got a 5 one time. Yeah, he got a 5 in round 2.
I think I gave him a 5.
I think you did.
Yeah.
He got a 5 in round
What's-
2. He got a 3 in round 2. He got a 2 in round 8.
What's Nas sitting at?
No, I think he's at 2.
He's got 2 votes.
Yeah, he's not getting the love.
Yeah.
I
I think I'm the other one giving him love.
he might have two or 3.
And
yeah,
I'm
3.
a Saints fan.
Yeah, he's got 3.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
Well, that wraps us up for this round. We'll talk to you all later on in the week, previewing round 10. Stay tuned on the socials. Reach out to us if you want to have anything mentioned. And until then, we'll talk. That was shocking, eh? That's shocking. It just shows I need to end it up. All right. See you, everyone.
Thank you. Oh, God.
See you guys on behalf
Bye.
of Nothing But Footy.
It looks like that's the end of the Nothing But Footy podcast. Thanks very much for tuning in. Go ahead and check us out on all of our socials. And we'll see you on the next one.